Welcome back to Loone Sleeves, y'all. Today we're talking my favorite Ikea planters. All right, before we get started with my favorite planters from Ikea this year, and some of them they've had in years past as well, the really popular ones kind of overflow from year to year. As they change out their collections, I want to talk about Ikea's packaging. So I did not go physically into Ikea's store to purchase any of these planters. I live about an hour away from an Ikea, so it wouldn't be hard to go in, but I wanted to stay home, stay safe, and also they're really working towards making their packaging more sustainable, and they're doing an excellent job. These came beautifully packaged when I got them online. They weren't damaged at all. All of the packaging was 100% recyclable, and that's what IKEA is really working towards, is 100% recyclable packaging, more sustainable practices overall, and more ethical practices overall. And so I'm really supporting them as a company because they are actively making those changes, and it shows. So I'm excited about the ones that I do have with me. There are a few I will also list and show pictures of that I don't have with me, just because I haven't gotten around to purchasing them yet, and I don't have either the space yet to purchase them, or my plants simply just don't need new homes yet. So they're on my list. Hopefully I'll be purchasing them in the future, and all of these come with really excellent reviews, so you can trust that if IKEA is selling them, you're gonna get quality, even though you're going for a lower price point. So to start off, I am not a Swedish speaker, and so I'm probably going to mispronounce these if I do choose to pronounce them. I might just put the name up just to keep it easy. But there is a line at Ikea right now, and they're probably my favorite line of planters that they have. The only reason I'm calling it a line of planters is because I think the designer chose to create multiple different designed planters and all list them under this name of Bittergurk. I have some notes here. I think it's Bittergurk. I'm probably still mispronouncing it. And part of that line is this planter here, which is a galvanized metal or a metal with an enamel on it. Then it has a bamboo like stem structure here, and then another galvanized metal little hook. This planter was $12.99 for one piece, but there's a catch here. You can, this is kind of Ikea's like thing, is being able to make things more modular or stretch their uses out to other things. You can, on the bottom of this planter, it gives you a little bar of metal here and an opening to hook another one of these planters, or more than that, onto it. So I have a second one here that I purchased, and I might go for a third because this is just so cool. You can hook them together and they can hang as kind of like this long modular planter that you have going on. And I think this whole line, the Bittergurk line, was designed for indoor gardening specifically. So I'm going to separate these two just because they're a little bit on the heftier side. Great size for the price too. For $12.99 to get a metal planter of this size, I mean, this is huge. It goes all the way around. The fact that you can hook another one of these on here is fantastic for what they could be used for. The potential is pretty much endless. And the indoor gardening, I think, is really what they were designed for. Herbs, vegetables that vine, any small things, maybe microgreens that you're going to be consuming, these planters would be excellent for. Along with this planter here in the Bittergurk line that I'll put a picture up of. I don't have this planter yet. This planter is listed at $14.99, another really excellent price for what it is, and it just gives off such a nice little window box vibe. So a great place for herbs and things like that again. So I'm excited to use these. Not sure exactly what I'm going to put in them yet. I might just put some vining houseplants in them, but I think the potential for indoor gardening is really where these guys are going to thrive. So I'll keep you updated on these right here, as well as the rest of the line if I choose to purchase it. So they're kind of my top rated one right now personally. I think they're the best design. I think they're most versatile, as well as the rest of the line. Secondly, I really have fallen in love with these hanging planters that have been at Ikea for a while. They've gone on a couple of different variations of this kind of lace patterning. And you can also buy these, I think, in like a cup form, or like just a standalone planter, one that doesn't hang, that has a flat bottom. And I've seen a lot of people use them for like centerpieces and desk supplies and things like that, office supplies, but they're really quite beautiful. I'm gonna turn it this way so you can see more of the planter. To me, this is nice and rounded, very elegant looking, has this like pretty lace-like pattern on it, but still is modern enough for me to want to hang it in our home. We have a pretty modern aesthetic in my apartment right now, so I wanted to keep with that, and I thought these fit nicely without being too like country farmhouse vibe to me, but you could still use them in that kind of design choice. So these are $5.99 a piece. So that is so inexpensive for what you're getting. I mean, they're very sturdy. This is also a metal, not a plastic. And they give you this metal chain. And this might not be the most aesthetic for some people. You might not appreciate this silver metal chain. You could spray paint it, which I've considered spray painting mine black, or you could replace it with something else. You could use twine or some sort of thick yarn to hang your planter, or like a butcher's twine. Something like that would look really nice as well. So if you're not too thrilled about this chain, I think the price is still low enough where it's worth just purchasing this piece and just using the chain for some other use down the line. But I have two of these. I think they're beautiful. And again, that whole line is really stunning to me. So those are my top two. The other planter that I have in my possession, I'm not sure if I would rate this at number 3. This is just simply the planter that I have. I also have two of these. And this planter is so simple and elegant. It's got, I don't know if you can really see, it's got a black rim. This is also metal. I'm really liking all of their like galvanized or enamel coated metal. That's a trend that's been happening through and through this year, and I think they really ran with it in a great way, keeping it affordable, because that trend can be expensive, especially with bigger planters. And this is a really decent sized planter. I think this is the 6-inch or the 9-inch. I'm not exactly sure, but this is called, what is this guy? The Crichton Syrah. So I'll insert the name at the bottom. I'm going to do that for all of them, and I'll have them linked below. The Crichton Syrah at $5.99, not $15.99, excuse me, $5.99. Most of their planters are going to be around the same price for the same size. So just like the hanging one was $5.99, it's about the same size. It's going to hold about the same amount of soil capacity as this guy, going to be around $5.99. The bigger ones range from around $12.99 to $14.99, but I have yet to see any exceed that like $15 mark. So super affordable planters all around. This is a nice, sturdy, hefty little planter. I think it looks really nice with this Christmas cactus, and just keeping everything kind of sleek and modern in our apartment. So this is adding to that theme. So I really like this one. Now to talk about a few that I do not have. So those are the 3 that I've decided to purchase and might even purchase more of. There are a few more that I think are worth mentioning. And one of them, this might be my number 3 because I think this is so smartly designed, is the Capkersbar, I think. It's $7.99 and it's a hanging planter. I'll insert a picture. And so many hanging planters are overpriced, especially if they have that macrame hanger to them. Unless it's like handmade, places like Urban Outfitters, and I'm trying to think of other places that sell planters really high priced, Anthropologie, they're just so expensive. And I don't know why you would pay that much when ones like this exist for $7.99. Now, it's not the most flashy or fancy hanging planter, but it's a ceramic hanging planter. It gets the job done, and I think it looks pretty nice for the price and what you're getting for that price. They also sell, it to be noted, a nicer looking macrame hanger. So not a pot or vessel, but they have that string part, the hanger part, that I will also put up on the screen. I don't know the name of it, but that is a nicer like hanger that you could maybe use on the lace-like one to replace whatever chains or things that the Ikea planters come with if you don't like that aesthetic. So if you're looking for hanging planters, Ikea is the place to go, really. And they have so many different options. They have different color choices too. I believe the cap curse bar comes in that cream that I'll put on the screen, as well as like a greenish color, like a sagey, minty color as well. Um, I would say the next one that I really love is a total classic. I mean, some of you might own this already. It's the Ingefära, and it's a classic terracotta pot with a saucer. However, they took away that rim that goes along the edge of a classic terracotta pot, and I think it just elevates the look that much more. It's just more intriguing, and kind of more sleek looking. So for $4.99, it's a classic. It comes in a couple different sizes, I think, so it might range in price a little bit there, but wonderful job on Ikea's end. Totally worth the buy. The next two are a little bit more modern. Again, that's kind of the aesthetic that I'm going for in my apartment, so it's ones that I appreciate seeing in their planter design, but might not be something that you're into, is the Drumstick, and that is a $2.99 planter. I'm not sure why it's so much lower. I think this is a plastic planter, and I can confirm that on the screen for you. This is just a sleek, sleek design. I mean, and it's also intriguing. It's not like a boring planter that you're getting for $2.99. You're gonna get questions about this planter, as well as the Gradvis, I wanna say is the name. The texture on this and the detail of the striping on the Gradvis for $5.99 is also stunning. It comes in a couple different colors as well, I believe, and totally worth the buy. I mean, even if you're not sure if your plant's gonna be grown out of its pot just yet, maybe purchase this as a backup just to have, because it's so inexpensive that when that does happen, because y'all know our plants have outgrown their pots, or they're starting to show roots at the bottom coming out, and they're busting out, and we don't have anything. You gotta run out and get a planter. It's so annoying. So might as well stock up on a couple of these cheaper Ikea options, and then you always have something that's gonna fit your home's aesthetic and be affordable. So those two really wonderful pieces. The last one, there's two more. I don't want to forget, there's two, and they're both very different. One of them is really bordering on that modern vibe. Concrete has been a big trend this year in modern homes, and has been for a while, but it can be a hassle to do it yourself. And I find, again, like Anthropologie, Urban Outfitters, places like that, overcharge for concrete so much. But who wants to buy a bag of concrete at Home Depot and do it all yourself? I mean, it seems like a lot of work to me. Plus, if you only want one planter, why go through all that hassle? So the Boysen Bar, which I think might be the only one I've said correct, and I'm not even positive about that. The Boysen Bar is a wonderful planter if you want to go for that concrete vibe, and it's only $3.99. So just imagine like a couple of these, or like a little trio of these planters in a windowsill or bathroom or something like that. Even if you put a fake plant in it, these are sleek and cute, modern, and very affordable for what they are. And the last one that I'm going to talk about today is the Foodville. The Foodville is a little woven, kind of, I don't want to say, what is it called? When you, not rick-rack. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll put it on the rattan. Never mind, I got it. Rattan. It's like a kind of rattan woven planter. And I think these are bordering again on the more like farmhouse aesthetic rather than the modern aesthetic, or more boho aesthetic. But if you're kind of teetering that line, which we do here between the modern and the boho, this is a cute little planter to have. I mean, I have a woven basket here, and this wasn't super expensive for what it is. I think this was around $15 to $19 from Home Goods, but still, that's not cheap either. And for $5.99 for getting a little woven basket that people are definitely going to ask questions about and are going to add to the aesthetic of your home, I mean, totally worth the purchase. So Foodville is also on the list. I think that's about, let me count them up. It's 9 planters, unless you count the fact that I put 2 from the Bitgurka line. So you could say these are my top 10 Ikea planters of 2020, they do change their lines occasionally. So if you're really interested in some of these planters, maybe order before the end of the year, just so that way you know you get your hands on them, because sometimes at the end of each year they'll push a line out and bring new lines in. So if you're interested, look into that. They are so affordable, so might as well stock up in case you need them. And I have nothing but good things to say about IKEA. The shipping is a little bit slower these days, but whose isn't at the moment? And so as long as you, if you're thinking about ordering these as gifts though, maybe do it ASAP or wait for a birthday or maybe next Christmas or holiday to give as a gift, because I'm not sure if it'll get here on time. But goodness gracious, IKEA has done it again with not only their wonderfully priced furniture and design as far as that goes, but planters are also getting an A+ from me. I am thinking about doing a future video on IKEA plant stands, so be on the lookout for that. And I have also purchased the IKEA mini greenhouse. It is not in this list because I don't believe it's a planter, it's more of a greenhouse. So I will be doing an update on my IKEA mini greenhouse as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful if you're looking at getting some new planters in the new year. Bye!